This has been a very controversial meeting throughout the day. Several yellow vests spokespeople have been saying that they did not agree to that meeting, that whoever was going to that meeting did not represent them. And up until moments before the meeting actually started, none of the journalists actually knew who was going to show up and if anyone was going to show up for that matter. Well, two people have attended that meeting. Two people did show up at the Matignon to meet with Edouard Philippe, but one of them left shortly after the meeting started, saying that he didn't feel as though he actually had the power, the legitimacy to speak on behalf of anyone. He said he asked the Prime Minister to let the journalists in so that the meeting would be broadcast live on TV and so that everybody could watch that meeting. But because the Prime Minister refused to do so, refused to let the journalists in, he then decided to leave the meeting. Another person stayed behind, and apparently that person was indeed negotiating, but very little is expected to come out of that meeting, since this meeting and the whole negotiation has been such a convoluted process, especially for the French government that has been struggling to find people who actually speak on behalf of this movement because of the nature of the so-called yellow vests protesters, because they are a grassroots movement that has no leader per se. They have a bunch of things in common, of course. Most of them started protesting because of this hike in fuel prices, but continue taking to the streets because of social inequality here in France.